Hey, what's up everybody? Panick23 here, coming at you with another GBL video, this time featuring Talonflame, Abomasnow, and Umbreon Best Buddy Hundo. Now, in this video you're going to be seeing how powerful these XL Pokemon are in GBL. This team took me to a 9-1 run here in this video, and also in some previous sets which you might see on someone's channel, you'll see a 10-0 run from a 13 game win streak. Alright, I want to give a special shout out to Boygos, who edited this video. Make sure you go and drop him a follow. His link will be down in the description below. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the battles. Alright, we're going to kick things off here with our first battle. These battles will be sped up 1.5 times. So I lead my Talonflame into the Ampharos, which isn't great. I'm going to look to catch the Thunder Punch on the Abomasnow. My opponent is too smart for that. They're going to bring out a Shadow Gardevoir here. I'm going to fake the Energy Ball here, hope to grab a shield. This thing is pretty squished, so likely we'll get the shield. This time I go for the Weather Ball again. Still baiting the Energy Ball. They decide not to shield. The Weather Ball will still hurt. I get down to about 3 HP and I will throw my last Weather Ball, which will draw the last shield or KO. I win switch advantage, which doesn't help me too much, but my opponent did go down a shield, which does help me. They bring out Drifblim, and as you can see, switch advantage is actually huge here because my Hundo Best Buddied Umbreon is going to have a field day with this Drifblim. I'm expecting a swap here, however, my opponent just goes for the debuff. I am going to overfarm to make sure I can carry some energy into the next matchup. Also being careful not to throw my debuffed Foul Play here into the Ampharos if it decided to switch back in. My opponent just going straight for the debuffs here. I'm pretty confident at this point that Umbreon will be able to sweep and beat this Drifblim no problem. They throw one more, and I'm going to look to farm this down and then switch out into my Talonflame. Oh, I go straight into my Talonflame trying to get the one Incinerate advantage. I do have a lot of energy here, but I'm betting that I survive this. I under tap and I get the Flame Charge off. I didn't want to do another Incinerate because the Volt Switches would KO, as you can see there. So at this point, Umbreon with 2 shields. I'm predicting this to be a Thunder Punch, but I am just going to shield up in case they decide to hit me with a Focus Blast or Dragon Pulse. One more Foul Play will KO. I will just double shield here because the opponent is now dry. They can't get to a Dragon Pulse before I can get to the Play Rough. And this Foul Play should KO, so Umbreon having no problem taking out the Drifblim and the Ampharos. Here comes the Drifblim, and my opponent respectfully leaves. So this team is featured as the top team in PB Poke. It's very powerful. I had a ton of fun with it. I went 28-8 with this team overall. So we get Snorlax into Talonflame, and when I see Snorlax, I'm expecting Double Dragon, Double Charm, or one of each. So I'm expecting that my Talonflame is going to be very good. I do just go for the Flame Charge here. Because I throw up a shield, I'm expecting my opponent to potentially shield. They do not, which is a really good call. And I do something really weird here, I think I double shield. And I overfarm and my opponent catches the Flame Charge here. And because I see the Kingdra, I am expecting either a Dragonite or a Togekiss in the back. I am just going to overfarm and go straight for the Brave Bird to potentially draw a shield or do a lot of damage. This Kingdra is best buddied, so I'm wondering at this point if this is an XL Kingdra. Kingdra can get a few XL power-ups, which helps it in the long run. My opponent going for the Octazooka buff, which is the debuff, which is the correct play here because one Outrage won't KO. You basically need 2 charge moves, so they do get the debuff on me. And at this point, I'm just really hoping that it's a Togekiss or Dragonite in the back. It is the Togekiss. I am locked in. I'm gonna throw the last resort here to run out the clock. I kind of make a mistake here. I just let myself go. I should have just came straight in with the Talonflame. No reason to wait out the clock since they're locked in. My opponent decides to throw their energy, which is really nice for me. And I'm gonna look to sweep with the Abomasnow. I farm up, I am counting. I don't want to get H empowered. I throw here. And my opponent has the outrage, and I think will be able to knock me out. Yep. We take our loss there. That the Snorlax with the Charmer and Kingdra is really tough for this team, but I was able to overcome one, I think, so this is going to be a very popular lead. They go into the Shadow Machamp, save swap the Dragonite. I do have my Abomasnow for this Dragonite. No need to shield the Dragon Claw, I can overfarm. I go for the Weather Ball here to KO before they get to a Dragon Claw. I am going to get farmed down by the Machamp, but I will be able to draw a shield. I trust in my XL Pokemon and go for the Energy Ball here, hoping that I can get a debuff. Doesn't happen. I'm going to go back into my Talonflame. I don't know if I try to call a Rock Slide here. It'll be interesting to see. Don't quite remember. I really don't want to get Rock Slided, so I throw up the shield. I do get baited. But I think even with a bait, my Talonflame will be able to take out this Machamp. They decide to no shield, which is really interesting. Now at this point, I really want to preserve the Talonflame. They go for a cross chop again, so just bad counting on my part. I go for the Brave Bird here. We'll see if this lands. They do shield, which is smart of them. I catch the Body Slam on Umbreon because I knew they had it. And I'm hoping that my Umbreon will be able to outbulk and take out the little bit of what's left on the Machamp. The Machamp is in foul play range, so I don't really mind if I throw a foul play into the Machamp. I just can't allow that Machamp to get to another move on my Umbreon. I need to preserve Umbreon's health because I am just out of range from a superpower. My opponent catches on the Machamp, which is no problem. I'm still out of superpower range. And then I catch the superpower, I think, here on my Talonflame. And then I'm able to KO the Snorlax. Oh, my opponent decides to throw their energy, and I'm one away. Or I'm at the foul play and I will KO, so GG's there. XL level 50 Umbreon, level 51 Umbreon actually, since its best buddy is super powerful in this meta. It's very, very tanky, very spammy. I like it in the back because shields down, it has a lot of play just because it outbulks a lot of things. So here comes another Machamp lead. This one's gonna stay in. This is my like third or fourth set with this team, so I'm starting to learn people's tendencies with the Machamp. They do throw up the shield. I'm wondering if I decide to call the bait here. I do call the bait. I get cross chopped, which is a good call on my end. They bring in the Empoleon, and instead of throwing my Flame Charge, I just decide to bank it for later because I know I need that energy for the Machamp. I will be able to take out this Empoleon, but I don't want to have too much health so the Machamp can farm down. And at this point, I'm starting to think of what could potentially be in the back, and in my guess, it's going to be another anti-Charmer, probably Venusaur or Charizard is my guess. gonna let this Hydro Can hit me. I'm gonna look to overfarm. Not by much though. I really don't want to cough up switch. But I let myself get to 1 HP and the least amount of farm possible for the Machamp, which is really key. I do have the Flame Charge, which I'm going to throw at the Machamp. Can't remember if they decide to shield this or not. They don't. Which is fine by me. It's probably another cross drop, but this time it is a Rock Slide, so I will be able to farm down. And here comes the Swampert, and this is just a bait game. Whether or not they have Sludge Bomb or not, or Sludge Wave. And it doesn't look like they do because they decide to top left. So currently 3-1 in this set. Gonna go ahead and reset the app. If you're not familiar with this method, after a while, it feels as if the game gets a little chunky. Maybe some fast moves are sneaking in. So it's always a good idea to reset your app every once in a while. If I start to see some lag, I will reset, but typically I do it after every set. If you're not a content creator or pushing out content, you could potentially do it every game. I think that gives you the best bet of reducing your lag issues. So I get a really, really nice lead here. Venusaur doesn't have a whole lot of places to go. So I just decide to stay in with the Empoleon, and I will throw the Flame Charge here. Just chip it a little bit since I don't need too much health. I will come in with the Umbreon. And I'm trying to think what could potentially be in the back. At this point, I'm sort of thinking it's maybe a Charizard, triple starter team potentially. So Umbreon will just be able to soak this energy, no problem. I don't want to be in farm down range for the Venusaur, so I will throw the Foul Play here once I get to 2. I'm going to undercharge a tad and hope to get another Snarl, but unfortunately it's just too much. Out comes a Swampert, which really took me by surprise. With the Grass Lead and double water in the back. Really nice counting by my opponent. And I'm gonna go into Abomasnow here. I should have no problem taking out the Swampert. I do go for the Weather Ball, which is a mistake. Swampert will win CMP. I do throw up the shield. And at this point, I'm just going to KO the Swampert so it doesn't have an opportunity to farm to a Sludge Wave later. I'm going to go for the Weather Ball here, force some pressure on this to shield. I do get the shield 1. Sludge Bomb won't KO. I do try and catch on the Talonflame in order to try and sack it. But the Talonflame survives the Sludge Bomb, and double resisted Vine Whips won't be able to take me out here. I go for the Flame Charge with 1 HP. I get Vine Whip down, which is no problem. Can comfortably shield this, and I'm at the Weather Ball. Sludge Bomb won't KO there, and I just decide to throw. Since I do have the Swampert in the back, I wasn't too sure about the switch timer or potential sack, so I do overfarm. And I Powder Stone down the Swampert. So I get a nice little 4-1 there with the team. So we're going to go ahead and fast forward to the second set that I do have. Alright, so we get a Gallade lead, which is really nice for Talonflame. The confusions do add up. Gallade can actually win this just by going straight Leaf Blade, which is kind of broken. So my opponent decides to not shield, letting the Gallade get very low, and out comes the Machamp. Now this thing is a problem for my back line, right? So I have to stay in here. I know this is going to be a cross shot, but I just need to keep Talonflame as healthy as possible. You can see those Incinerates are really chunking. And I can't have this Machamp on Abomasnow or Umbreon, so I just KO. You can see my Talonflame is ramped up. They bring in the Gallade and it just gets deleted. And out comes a Magnezone. You can see that Incinerate double boosted, does about 25% health. And I show the Umbreon here, and that's going to be a GG's. Talonflame just putting in a crazy amount of work there. You can see that they're triple weak to Talonflame. Out comes with Dragonite, which is not a good lead for Talonflame. I do want to draw a shield here because I could potentially farm up later. I will shield this Dragon Claw and I'll likely swap to Umbreon. I don't know if I go into the Abomasnow. I don't know that I would want to bring out my hard counter here, but let's see. I do bring out the Abomasnow, just get a little bit of chip on it. My opponent lets me farm up a decent amount. They bring the Surfetched. As you can see, counter user in the back, so I have to draw it out and switch out there. They decided to no shield the Weather Ball, which is a nice call. I will no shield this Night Slash, and predicting that I will be able to live, which I do, so we'll likely be able to grab a shield here. I do. The Surfetched is almost at a Night Slash here. These Incinerates will chunk it down. I want to say I shield this because I'm pretty confident that I can come out of this with a Brave Bird and be able to KO that Dragonite. So I have the Brave Bird here, so I think I go straight for it. But I lose CMP, which is really tough. Looking back at it, I should have just quick swapped into Umbreon. The Abomasnow in the back, I don't know that I'm going to be able to pull this out. But let's see if Umbreon's tankiness can get us through. So I overfarm here, and I noticed that a foul play isn't going to put this Abomasnow low enough, so I overfarm right before they get to the Weather Ball. And I throw a Last Resort here, which does a little bit more damage. As you can see, they swap out into the Dragonite, but unfortunately I just don't have enough energy. And Umbreon survives with 1 HP, but Dragon Breath gets me down, so currently 1-1. That was a close one there. Leading into the Dragonite with the counter user in the back is very tough. We do get paired up with Hunter Craven, and if you are familiar with Hunter Craven, you know that he hangs out in some Twitch streams. He has been talking about his team over on Twitter, so I am thinking that he's running double Charm, so I want to preserve my Talonflame. I try to sack the Abomasnow there by catching the Body Slam, but unfortunately Incinerate being a 5-turn move, just not able to get out. I do go for the Brave Bird here, draw the shield. He overfarms a little bit, brings out Clefable. I'm just going to go for the Energy Ball. I don't think he's going to shield, so I want to do a lot of damage to this thing. It lands, which is really nice. I overfarm right before they get to their Meteor Mash, and I throw up the Weather Ball here. It doesn't KO. I get one more Powder Snow. I likely will get charmed down here. Out comes the Alolan Ninetales, and I go for the Energy Ball, realize I can't get there, try and get the Weather Ball chip, but unfortunately this doesn't happen. In the long run, that won't really matter. Hunter Craven going for the Weather Ball. Gonna shield up. I am expecting a sack here. Yep, here it is. I swap out, catch the Body Slam on the Umbreon. Now, if you are an opposing player playing a Talonflame, it might be in your best interest to stop tapping, swap in between the Incinerate. Because the Incinerate is so long, you can swap out and throw your charge move within that 5-turn window. So here I try and let myself get super low, so the Alolan Ninetales can't farm me down, because the way I lose this is if I get farmed down. I get the last shield here. They make a really nice swap when I go for the back-to-back. I swap immediately into my Talonflame. I do have 2 flame charges stored, so I'm going to throw back to back here. One on the Alolan Ninetales and the other on the Snorlax to KO. So Snorlax double charm, really powerful team. The key there was keeping Talonflame alive, and you can see that I shielded the body slam from the Snorlax in the beginning because I recognized what the team was going to be. So a little bit of a disadvantage for Hunter because he had been publicizing his team out on Twitch and Twitter. Gonna jump into game number 4 here. Currently at 2-1. Get the Empoleon lead, which is tough. So when you see Empoleon, you should automatically think Double Dragon. I try and catch on the Abomasnow, but it doesn't quite happen. I have to distribute the energy somewhere. And looking back at this, I realized that my Abomasnow is really important to me if it's Double Dragon in the back. So if you see an Empoleon lead, you should probably swap into Umbreon because it has a pretty neutral matchup with all 3 of the Pokemon. The Energy Ball lands, gets the debuff, and I realized I need to somehow switch this matchup with a lot of energy somewhere. And I farm down. I go to farm down the Empoleon, but my opponent brings out the Dragonite, hoping to Dragon Breath me down before I can get off my moves. However, I do get off both, and I draw the shield and one-shot. I think my opponent made a little bit of a mistake here, not eating the energy on Kingdra. Kingdra would have been able to eat that energy much easier. I do just go for the Brave Bird here. There's no reason for me to bait. As you can see, it does about 75% of the Kingdra's damage. And the Kingdra gonna get to the Outrage here. We'll see if they throw Octazooka or Outrage. Outrage, probably want to Octazooka. And they just see how little damage that Outrage does, and they quit. So a little bit of a misplay. Fortunate for me. Definitely take that. Sometimes you need a little bit of luck on your side. So currently at 3-1. 7-2 with this team. Let's see if we can make it a nice 8-2 here, 80% win percentage. So we get the counter user in the lead. Getting into the last battle here. Do catch the counter user in the lead, Toxicroak, which is nice. My opponent's gonna swap into Snorlax. So I'm gonna farm up some energy. I'm looking to Brave Bird and dip here. I eat this Body Slam because I recognize that this team is most likely going to be Lapras in the back. It's a popular line by Caleb Pang. My Brave Bird gets shielded, I go into my Umbreon. I need to maintain some health on the Talonflame to fight the Toxie, and I want to put my Abomasnow onto the Lapras. Out comes the Toxicroak. I will get the last resort off. I can't quite swap out. You can see I'm trying to get out. I get farmed down. Which is not great. And I'm gonna go for the Mud Bomb, which KOs me. And at this point, it's Abomasnow against the world, and it's just not going to happen, unfortunately. Try to farm down. I'm loaded on energy. They bring out the Snorlax here. I farm up extra. I throw the energy ball, which I'm hoping will just about KO. And I'm farming, realizing that I'm not going to be able to get to 2 energy balls. So I do just go for the energy ball, which they don't shield. Does a decent amount of damage, however, I still need another one. And I'm hoping that my opponent forgets to shield here. and they don't shield, maybe saving it for the Snorlax, try to look down, and I get the win. So if that isn't an example of never giving up, I don't know what is. You never know what your opponent's going to do. You never know if they might lag, misclick, misplay, anything. But if that's not a lesson to you all, never stop tapping, folks. Alright, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate your support. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you all in the next one. Take it easy. Peace.